What makes someone reach beyond the boundaries of human experience to face the unknown? As children, we question the world around us. We learn, we accept, and gradually we lose our capacity for wonder. But some do not. The explorers, the seekers of truth. It is these pioneers who define the future of mankind.
Hi, and welcome to a fairly standard Rise of the Tomb Raider review. I'm... In 2013, Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics rebooted the Tomb Raider franchise with the aptly named Tomb Raider. And it was, a little bit different from what people expected from Tomb Raider because there was tomb raiding. But it focused much more on Laura's origins and more on her ability to survive. And, because originally, obviously, being an origin story, she's not the character we know. So, pretty much the story took place from her being, a kind of scared, unable survivor, but just took her from, someone who wasn't sure of herself to someone who was very sure of herself and someone who was very capable. And that's where what the first one did, the reboot, and now moving on to Rise of the Tomb Raider. This one pretty much takes place right after that and shows her as a very capable Tomb Raider and very capable badass. As this one takes place right after the first one, Lara is in search of something called the Divine Source, which is something her father was looking for.
Did you find the Prophet's tomb?
Yes, but I was followed.
What? By who?
They call themselves Trinity. They tried to kill me.
What the hell is going on here? You're starting to scare me.
The tomb was empty, but I think they were looking for the Divine Source.
The artifact your father was after?
There's more. I found this symbol in the tomb. I knew I'd seen it before. It was driving me insane. That's when it hit me. I saw it here, in one of Dad's books. Listen to this. The lost city of Katesh, said to have disappeared in Siberia sometime in the 12th century. Legend says that on the eve of the invasion by the Mongol horde, it sunk beneath a lake.
What does this have to do with the Prophet's artifact?
The same symbol.
Think of like Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Laura's father was looking for the Divine Source, kind of like Henry Jones was looking for the Holy Grail for his life's pursuit. But unlike Henry in Indiana Jones, Laura's father is disgraced and eventually commits suicide, or we're led to believe. And Lara, in this story, pretty much picks up where her father left off, because at the end of the rebooted Tomb Raider, she now believes, because of what she saw on the island, she now believes that there are mystical things out there, things that can't be explained. And now she believes more than ever that her father may have been right. The game pretty much starts out with with you in the snow in Siberia, and then you have the avalanche.
Go back, Jonah! Get to shelter!
spoil anything, this was at the E3 show, so which they showed off. You have the avalanche, and then it actually sends you back in time. You learn a little bit more about the backstory, which I just explained, of Lara searching for the divine source, which her father was looking for. And throughout the story, it shows flashbacks of Lara as a child and her father. Throughout the story, Lara comes into contact with a few characters of old and a few new introduced characters, like Jonah is back for a little bit. Newer characters. She comes across her father's new wife, I assume, or her stepmom, who you learn in the flashback in the beginning that she's kind of trying to help Lara and get over what happened on the island and stop her from, wasting her life away like her father did.
What are you doing here?
I saw the gutter press was attacking you again. I thought you could use some company.
No lies. Were you followed?
Followed? Of course not. What's going on?
I think I found the tomb.
Oh, you can't be serious.
The myth of the prophet is real. Dad was right.
Lara, your father was unwell.
No, he was close to a great discovery, tangible evidence of the immortal soul.
I loved Richard. I would have married him if he'd asked. But he was a broken man. I don't want to see you end up like him.
But Anna, he was right. It was everyone else who was wrong. The tomb's in Syria.
Syria? Oh God, Lara, no. This is madness. Get your life sorted. Go home to the manor.
You know I can't go back there.
But this obsession ruined your father.
I saw something. Something I can't explain. Now I understand what Dad was going through.
It's all fairy tales. Nonsense. Don't go down this road. You know where it leads.
It's the only thing that makes sense to me now. I'm going to find the Prophet's tomb, Anna.
We also get our Bond villain, quote-unquote, Constantine, who is pretty much almost plucked from a Bond film or old-school Bond movies.
I've come so far. I've endured so much. These final barriers you have set before me. These sins you have forced me to commit, they must have a purpose. Only you can show me the way. Grant me strength to continue for her, for you, for Trinity. Please. Show me the way. Blood it shall be.
He has, plenty of scars, and it's just a complete... He's a pretty badass bad guy who's kind of an ass. But, he plays the character very well. He's a great villain. I think he actually pulls it off better than Matthias did in the rebooted Tomb Raider, because he was just somebody who, like Lara, actually I think they both villains mirrored Lara's, what Lara would become in each story. Like, Matthias was Lara, a bunch more years on the island. He was a survivor. He was doing whatever he needed to do. Even though he was the bad guy and doing it in a worse way, he was pretty much mirror of her, becoming a survivor. And in this one, I think that counts as well, because Constantine is willing to do what he has to do, and so is Lara, but he's doing it for bad, she's obviously doing it for good. And that's a good thing about the story. The hero and the villain are very much mirrored in the story. There's also a Siberian named Jacob who helps Lara along the way. She helps him get out of the Siberian prison where Constantine is holding him.
Wait. Let me out. I can help you.
I can't trust you.
We may not be enemies. I can see that. I suspect you do too.
I work better alone.
I know the layout. I know the land.
I'm a fast learner.
I've no doubt of that. Maybe I can offer you something more valuable. I know what you're all after. Thank you. I'm Jacob.
Lara, take this. In case we get separated.
Other than that, there's not that many new characters. You meet Jacob's daughter, but that's, you know, she's a good character, but she kind of has not much to do until the end, and it's pretty much focused on Lara, which it should be, which is good. But one of the characters I actually felt was only as a plot device, which isn't a bad thing, but it just kind of poked out at me, and I was like, is that the only reason they're really here? Like, they show up, then they disappear for a little bit, they re-show up, and something big happens. And then that's it to that character. It's pretty much there. It just felt like the character was literally a plot device, and that's it. Like, that's the only reason they brought them back, but or put them in the game. So, which is all right. I mean, obviously that's what you do with other characters, but it kind of bugged me. Gameplay wise, this game is pretty much exactly the same as it was in the reboot, but better. You got your guns, you got your shotguns, you get your machine guns, you got your bows. And now this time, like, they have different sets of bows. Like, I think there's 4 or 5 sets of bows, just specifically bows for the moment, that you can find. Like, you have your compound bow you can find parts for. You have your hunting bow that you get in the beginning. You get a couple of old, like, historic ones that you find later on as well, and you find parts for. There's also, with the machine guns, there's like 4 or 5 machine guns that you can find. You got some AKs, you got your submachine guns, the GC-36, you know, stuff like that. And each one is customizable and upgradable in different ways, and each one is you know, made for a different type of play style. Like, the AK has more damage but less firing rate. Like, the submachine gun has a faster firing rate but has a little less damage. You know, stuff like that. There's an elephant machine gun, or I mean, an elephant shotgun. You know, with the 2 shots, just you know. And then there's a regular shotgun, the pump action, and stuff like that. The pistols have there's like a revolver, then there's like an old style western kind of one, like a 6-shooter, and then you got, you know, your pistol, your normal pistol. So it's a lot of customization options for, you know, your weapons, and that's good. That's a good upgrade from last time. So it's good improvements. Also new to combat, you have the ability to now make Molotov cocktails.
We did. There's a lot of structural damage from the revolt.
Dangerous getting up higher. Weather and elements have taken a toll. So this is where the Soviets broke through.
Yeah. First contact was in one of the mine shafts. They shifted all operations to retrieval. But it looks like the revolt came within a week.
Workers finally had enough?
You've seen this place, right? Seems like a safe bet. Let's see if we can find those manifests and join the others.
All right.
You also can make little shrapnel grenades out of little cans you find in the area.
Get clear! Fire in the hole!
also make smoke grenades.
I got you covered!
And you can also like tie up the gas cans. You can tie them up with a little explosive, chuck them, and then boom, big explosions. It's a lot more options in combat, and that's just the the all-out balls to the wall action part of the the action and whatnot, the story. There's this game, as I said, with options. This game gives you more opportunities for stealth. Like there are some sections that I played through where you can actually get through them completely with stealth, like no killing anybody, and you throw a bottle over there. Oh, hey, what's over there? Get by them, stuff like that, and it's really good without. It's really fun trying to do it through stealthily, but it's actually it's cool, but it's much more fun to do it actiony. So, but that's the cool thing. It gives you that option to try it your way. Like if you do want to try the stealth, you can do that. If you want to do balls to the wall action, throwing grenades, throwing all these things, you can do that. So that's cool. Also, I forgot about the. It's more for stealth, but you have now a combat knife, which is pretty cool because now you could be stealth killing somebody, and it takes forever with that bow. You're trying to choke them out, and then when you get the combat knife, it's it's like, and then they're dead. And it also opens up a fun little animation where you could be on top of like a building or a shack, and you're trying to stealth it, or like stealth kill the area, not stealth it like just sneak around everybody, and you see a lone bad guy over there, so you're like, I'm gonna kill that guy, and then you like leap off, and and you stab him, and it's awesome. It makes you feel really good, especially if you do it and then get away without anybody noticing.
What the hell?
Have they started operations up at the cathedral?
Any minute now. Flew in some heavy equipment less than an hour ago.
There are also certain areas of the game that allow you to explore a hub world. There's I think 2 or 3, and in those little hubs, you're obviously allowed. You have the ability to explore the areas, find your collectibles. There's also the ability to get missions, little side missions from the people who live there and who are fighting against Trinity, who's the bad guy. I forgot to mention that earlier. They will give you missions, like one of them you can, if you complete the mission of saving like two of the good guys who are helping you, he'll give you a lockpick or a smart choke for your shotgun, or a bow and arrow, or stuff like that. A new bow. The side missions are good. They're fun. They're little things off the beaten track, but they're fun little side things to do. While you're also looking for other collectibles, searching in caves. Killing bears, bobcats, hunting those things. It's a lot of fun, and it's sometimes a little scary as with like the bears or the bobcats. If you accidentally wander into a cave that you didn't know had one in there, aimlessly wander in there, and all of a sudden, and then you're like, what? And you spin around, you don't see it, and then that's a little awkward. Freaks you out, but it's a lot of fun. Also new in the game is crafting. You can craft your own arrows now, so you don't have to look around for them. Break down trees and whatnot. You pull leaves off of stuff, and it's a pretty cool little thing that you do. And you can craft quivers, hunting quivers, regular quivers. You know, as you go through the game, you have the ability to craft better equipment, like ammo pouches, better ammo pouches, larger ammo pouches, so you can carry more bullets, stuff like that. This one really adds a lot more creativity and crafting, and it's just a lot more fun now, because you're really searching the areas for everything. It's not just, okay, where's the collectible? It's like, ooh, break down that tree, now I got my bark, you know, for making arrows. And you know, grab those leaves for or grab those mushrooms for poison arrows, you know, stuff like that. It's a fun little thing that you're always going to be looking out for, like, oh, gotta get more of those, need those, and it's cool. Tombs are actually probably the best part of the game. Quite a few of them are quite challenging. Some of them are very simple right off the bat, but not too simple. Obviously there's a lot to do in them to finish them, but some of them are quite complicated and a lot of fun. There's, I think, 15 total. There's 9 that I counted in side tombs. There's also, I think it was 6 throughout the main campaign, so there's quite a few in this one. So and they're all awesome. There are ones where you'll screw up, you know, it'll be your error or my error, you know, and you'll accidentally spend too much time in one because you missed something. Like you saw a wall and you thought you had to blow it up, but all you had to do was, you know, whack it down with your axe. So, you know, things like that will happen, but overall, the tombs are amazing, and I can't wait to see what they actually do with them in the future.
Patience, Lara. Now!
There is no multiplayer in this game, so the sort of multiplayer is actually expeditions, in which you, after you beat the game, it's like, that has like score attack, other little modes that you can play through, like less health modes, stuff like that. And you also, while you're playing the game, you'll get credits for outside the game to unlock cards for the game, like big head mode, more damage machine gun, more damage pistol, more resistant outfits and stuff like that for like score attack and the other modes and stuff. And this is more of a, like, okay, I got certain amount of points on this level. You know, your friend sees that and he's like, okay, well, I want to beat that. Oh, what were the cards you had? Okay. And it's kind of like that. It's not a mode I'm going to really spend too much time in. I'll probably do it a little bit, but not too much. Speaking of the cards, they also deal with microtransactions, which they don't bother me. They shouldn't be here, yet again, like in Halo 5, but they are, so let's deal with them, okay? They're very tiny. I understand that they could be like, they're you know, they're starting us off small. They're saying, let me just put them in here, and then they care later on. We care now, we care later. It's just, they don't matter right now, guys, so it's like, when they get bigger, we'll bitch, okay? But it's just like, they're so tiny, it doesn't matter. So, because I'm not going to, a real person who plays these games and understands this, that I can earn them in game without actually having to pay money, will understand that they probably shouldn't pay money for this. It's the person who's just like, I want to see what I can get. Boom. I want to see what I can get. Boom. You know, those are the people that are going to spend the money, not us. So don't worry about it. It's in there for those people who don't care and are just like, I want to spend money. I want to see what I can get. And that's it. Overall, I actually think this game is very beautiful. This is probably more than Halo 5, a console seller for Xbox, at least for this year. But because this is a must-play game, this is amazing. The graphics are amazing. The wide-open, maps are amazing, and just everything looks so beautiful. I didn't run across any glitches or screw-ups. There was one small, tiny moving animation that strangely happened, but it only happened like for 5 minutes, and then it went away and never happened again. This game is like definitely my most requested, or not most, I would say probably would be my most recommended game of this year so far, other than probably Witcher 3 or Mortal Kombat. If I was to give this game a rating, I'd probably give it maybe a 9.5, maybe a 10, maybe in there somewhere 9 to 10, somewhere in that general area. I don't really like scores. But I would say get this game. I would say this is a shining recommendation or something like that. Like, you should definitely play this game, and play the reboot as well first, because that's a great way to start. And then you'll be like, man, now I really want to play it. But this one is definitely the game to own, I think, as of right now for the holiday season. This is the game that you should definitely buy above all else. So I would say, buy it. I don't know, I have no reason to not recommend this game. I have no reason to say don't buy it. Buy it. This game is great, and you should buy it, because it's great. As well, I'm just really excited for the next game as well. This game left off amazingly for another game, so I'm just really excited, and I can't wait to see where they go with the third game. So other than that, I don't really have anything else to say other than this game is great. So I don't know. Have a good one. See you on the next one.